Okay, why would she put he was betrayed and then she adds in spiritual? Like, do you know what I mean? That's almost like clickbaiting his death in a way.
Now it's time to share private messages. You know what's so funny to me is, I don't know, I feel like they are now steeped in psychology for toddlers. It's so obvious what's coming down the pipeline that thinks, oh, it's not appropriate to share private messages unless we do it.
I don't really get the demeanor of a grown woman. Now, I don't know, maybe it's a little hypocritical because I know at times maybe people would say the same thing about me. But there's just a lack of like maturity I get from her. And she's, it's not really a good argument to say, well, other people do it. Other people show private text messages, so I should be able to too,
Plus, we're up on stage talking about private conversations and making stuff up that definitely didn't happen. I think it was actually Pastor McCoy's speech. Charlie wanted me to lead the next movement. Charlie told me I'm America's pastor, he said. Yeah, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he called you America's pastor. And so,
yeah. I could agree with her. I think a lot of that stuff has been like really out of poor taste and kind of gross.
I will be.
But Candace just, I don't know. I can just tell she's never really been around a guy with a lot of masculinity and frame because men really don't like when private things become public. And I see her do it. I see Brett Cooper do it. I see a lot of the internet personalities make their private life public. So
doing whatever I want to do until the truth is told about what happened on 9/10. We should start with Josh Hammer, by the way, because he really has now become the king of defying no stereotypes.
Okay, so now she's like subtly threatening them.
Where we last left off, obviously, it's a trailer that we put together. I sure hope you guys like it. Take a listen.
How Charlie Kirk was actually feeling about the pressure he was receiving from pro-Israel Zionist donors to Turning Point USA.
Charlie definitely was not someone.
I think Candace is kind of just like a useful idiot, if I'm being honest.
Someone who liked to be bullied by donors, as we saw in those text messages.
Their Jewish donors to TPUSA played into the worst stereotypes of Jewish people.
Charlie writes, Jewish donors play into all of the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this.
A few moments later.
I'm talking to lawyers. I think I'm a lawyer by background. I work for a federal appeals judge. I know a thing or two about United States constitutional law. I think that we have a potentially serious.
Well, yeah, because you were accusing him of like murder subtly and then pretending you weren't. Okay.
Okay. You have to believe in your gut. I keep talking about you guys over and over.
Oh God, no. A woman should never believe her gut. You should believe that demons are trying to trick you all the time. As most of you know, I have been fighting on the front lines of the simp epidemic for years, but I need to tell you about a quiet weapon being ratcheted up against men that is rarely talked about. It's not just the relentless anti-masculinity propaganda and OnlyFans hoes causing the societal issues that we discuss on this show. Did you know that the average city's tap water contains trace pharmaceuticals and endocrine disruptors? This often includes estrogen from birth control. The average adult consumes a credit card worth of plastic every single week. That's 5 grams of plastic a week on average. So it's no wonder that the average male's testosterone is half of what the average was 50 years ago. Testosterone levels decline 1% a year, and without a course correction, we are headed towards extinction. No matter how based you are, you need to be naturally boosting your testosterone. My friends at Chalk, CHOQ.com, are on a mission to save mankind from extinction by boosting your vitality. Chalk's Male Vitality Stack contains premium and potent herbs clinically studied to naturally boost your testosterone levels, sperm count, and overall vitality. Just one of the many ingredients in the Male Vitality Stack was studied in double-blind human clinical trials to boost total testosterone 20% in 90 days. When you boost your testosterone, you'll have more mental clarity, you're more capable of making decisions and taking risks. Having high testosterone will also affect your pheromones, so women will find you more attractive subconsciously. Get the Chalk Male Vitality Stack right now on chalk.com. That's CHOQ.com. Use my name Pearl as your coupon code and you'll get 25% off site-wide on chalk.com. That's CHOQ.com. My name Pearl is the discount code.
Over again, your gut matters more, right? Your subconscious picks up on things before your conscience does. Which brings me to dreams, by the way, because before I went on break, many people were triggered because I discussed on a previous show a dream that I had, a very vivid dream, whereupon Charlie told me that he had been betrayed. And so he's been betrayed. That's it. That's There's a lot I could say here. If I had known that me discussing my dreams was going to trigger so many people, I would have started every other show like Martin Luther King Jr. I'd been like, I had a dream, I had a dream, I had a dream. And like I said, this one was clear. Charlie told me that he was betrayed. He actually said more than that, actually. But we're fishing, right? So let's be patient. What I want you guys to know about Charlie is he also used to dream very vividly. Because we traveled together so much, he would wake up, we would text, and he would tell me about those vivid dreams. And we talked about a lot of things, as you do when you get to know somebody. We talked about the spiritual realm. We talked about religion, our faith, most importantly, what our life's about. You see something beautiful, and it makes you feel at peace. And then I felt the need to start going through messages and conversations between me and Charlie. And sure enough, I stumbled upon many messages of him telling me how he would die. And I'm going to show you some of those messages now, a particular set of messages that were written on April 6th, 2018, just a couple of weeks before Kanye tweeted, I love the way Candace Owens thinks, which is relevant because a lot of things changed after that tweet. And it's relevant because Charlie sensed that something big was about to happen. And I think that is what the something big was. I also want to say, obviously, I am not making up these messages. Okay. Turning point. Actually, Mikey McCoy has access to all of Charlie Kirk's messages. They can tell you that these ones are real. Here's what he wrote. We were again talking about Kanye. Charlie wrote to me, you're going to be the Iron Lady of America. He had such a political vision for me. I never wanted that sort of a thing. I see it so freaking clearly. I might be Moses, though. I might not see.
You never wanted that sort of thing, really? Sorry, I just...
see this whole thing through. LMAO. If that is the case, be my David. I said, dude, you haven't even realized your power yet. You're so young, is what I was thinking. He said, if I tell you the true prophecy that I know in my gut, it's really sad, but I hope it's wrong. He went on to say, anyway, I am not sure if I will live to see the end of this revolution. I believe you were the piece that God meant me to meet that will finish the fight. Since the beginning of TPUSA, I knew in my gut that I might get wiped out at any time. I cannot explain it, but I dream about it all the time, like all the time. Anyway, that's depressing combo for another time, LMAO. I said, that's weird, more of a fear manifestation than an actualization. He said, I'm not really afraid of it, but I'm just telling you what I know to be true. And he told me that. He told me that. I don't know why. Charlie knew he was going to die young. And I don't know. I just felt like I needed to share that because it is in part why the moment that Charlie got shot, I just knew he was betrayed spiritually in the same way that Charlie knew he was going.
Okay, why would she put he was betrayed and then she adds in spiritual? Like, do you know what I mean? That's almost like clickbaiting his death in a way. Because I saw the tweet. It said Charlie was betrayed, and it made it seem kind of like something it's really not. Okay, so he thought he would die young.
To die young. I knew that this was a part of something bigger. And so I wanted to say to you guys, to the people that betrayed Charlie, I would recommend that you come clean, okay? I would recommend that you come clean because Charlie said some other things, and I look at these things now and
I don't really have an issue with Candace. I just think she's kind of dumb. I mean, that's just, I think she's got a big ego. And the reason she's in the position she's in is because she's a Black woman who had conservative beliefs. And that was really rare. And that's okay if you come into it with some humility, but people have just been telling her she's awesome for a decade. So yeah, I mean, that's really my 2 cents. And she just kind of, she just reminds me a lot of the women I cover.
I think, wow, it's almost prophetic, right? It's almost prophecy. And I can tell you that this is a story that will have a happy ending, a tragedy that will have a happy ending. The world is going to learn the truth about this. They are. I would recommend that you come clean. There are lines in the sand that are being drawn right now between good and evil. Many of you have picked the evil side. To you, podcasters, people that make videos, people that are taking money. People don't look over there.
What's interesting, whenever I criticize a man, they never say it's me being envious. But if I ever criticize a woman, that's always the go-to. And it actually shows you how simpy conservatives are.